Hey Hunt Geeks, it's Chad with the Hunt News Network, and we are Transworld 2018, and we stopped here at Immortal Masks to talk to George. George, thank you very much for taking time out. Awesome. So tell us what you've brought new to the show. I mean, your booth is gigantic.
Yeah, thanks. This is our biggest year ever. We went big. That was on purpose.
Awesome.
32 new silicone mask designs between Transworlds.
Wow.
6 new sets of armor. So we're really expanding into costuming now.
Okay.
We just expanded our faceplate, our resin high impact faceplate line by 15 new designs. I think we brought 100 faceplates here. We're prototyping Digigrade silts with silicone legs, and we'll be showing those off tomorrow.
Okay.
How they work in conjunction with an actor, with armor, with full mask, with everything. But
sure.
Yeah, we went big. Not bad for somebody started out with a 10x10 a couple years back.
Yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you show us what you brought?
Great. So we have some of our classics over here. Some of our zombies. We gotta kind of keeping some of the classics together so people have thematic ideas for their hunt, can see them. But as we move around through our 450 masks, we kind of get over here, and this is where some of the new designs started happening. We were fortunate. Obviously, one of the benefits of us being in Los Angeles is that we're kind of around the cream of the crop of the effects industry. You know,
right.
Sculptors, painters, artists that not only are accomplished in the film industry, but are really good friends of ours. So we can call on people on occasion to come in and sculpt a new design that we might see it fit for them. And one of the cool things this year is we had actually my business partner is Andrew Freeman. I don't know if you guys know him, but Face Off season 12. Andrew brought in Hiroshi Katagiri. And Hiroshi is famous for things like sculpting the merman on Cabin in the Woods and amongst a million things. But he was also Andrew's sculpting mentor. And Hiroshi came in and sculpted some really cool things for us. So here's one of them. It's called the Disciple. It's a really cool idea with bugged out eyes, drilled directly over the pupil so you can see right out of them.
Wow.
Really eerie, creepy mask. Has that kind of Japanese ghost appearance to it, something you see in anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, where have I seen that before?
Yeah, it was, well, to tell you the truth, Hiroshi's been working on a movie, and he came to us and said, how about I sculpt a female mask for you? It's something I want to put in this movie that I'm working on, and I'll give you the sculpture, but you got to give me the casting and stuff. We're like, deal.
Wow.
And that was the Oracle, which was the female counterpart of this, and we loved it so much, we're like, can you sculpt the male version? So he sculpted that one. Then we're like, can you sculpt this one? So I think Hiroshi sculpted about 6 new masks for us this year.
Okay.
And then moving along, this is something, this was the one that just got on the plane. Anybody who knows us knows that we don't really stop working, like, ever. We don't really have a season. We just continue to sculpt because that's what we like to do.
Right.
So we sculpted a new mask about 3 weeks ago for Transworld, and that's this guy. He's the Lurker, and Andrew sculpted this one.
Very creepy.
Yeah, he's our weird, smiling, alien, creepy dude mask that looks really cool with a purge-looking smiley face on him.
Wow.
Moloch, another new demon. He's brand new this year, hasn't seen Transworld yet. Most of these haven't seen Transworld. Even our new clown over here. And this is an interesting mask because what we want to do is a fixed position or fixed expression mask. Most of them, they're kind of a neutral position. Then you face animates it. So we're like, well, what if we did something that's, and we call them half-cocked, kind of like the raised eyebrow and squinting. This mask on is awesome. He's just it was perfect for a clown.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I really do like that expression.
Thanks. This is our controversial mask.
Okay.
This is Shroud. We've got a lot of interesting references to what Shroud may or may not be.
Okay.
In fairness, we were sitting around the shop talking about movies and movie posters that influenced us when we were younger, things that scared us, and a movie called In the Company of Wolves came up. And if you're not familiar with what the poster looked like or the DVD cover, it was a person's face with a snout of a wolf coming out of the mouth. And we always found that really to be creepy, and then we were playing around with the idea that bone against flesh is also very creepy, and that's where this guy came from. And I'm not going to tell you about all the reference pictures that may or may not have been floating around.
Let the audience come up with their own imagination.
So our tryptophobe mask, this is Crater Face, or as Melissa Eve, who sculpted this, really was pushing for Holy Moly. So if you guys aren't familiar with some of our artists, Melissa is another talent that was on Face Off also, that has come to us from Milwaukee. We snatched her up, and she's a full-time artist with us. She kind of does everything. She works really well with Andrew, so she's been sculpting some new masks, and this is one of them. And kind of plays off the fear of holes, the trypophobia.
Yeah.
And we just keep taking it to grosser and grosser points. This one she had a lot of fun doing.
Oh, yes.
Botfly larvae, pus, everything.
Wow.
So yeah, and then Scarecrow. We sometimes come up with characters that are just like out of the blue. Like we don't even know where the idea came from. It's just, what if we put this and this and this and this together? And then sometimes there are versions of staple things.
Sure.
And we wanted to do our version of a Scarecrow in a silicone mask.
Okay.
Which was interesting to do because we had to capture the texture of burlap into something that was eventually going to become a fiberglass and epoxy mold. So what we did is we actually made a slurry of a type of clay that we used, and we actually incorporated the clay into actual burlap, and we're able to pull the impression out of epoxy, which normally would never happen. That stuff would stick right in it, and you wouldn't be able to get that kind of mask.
Right.
So really cool, great texture, something we're able to do all in a silicone mask. Mario Torres, if you're not familiar with him, another amazing, amazing sculpture from everything from Hellboy to, he just sculpted Brainiac for Krypton, the new show that's coming out on Sci-Fi about the origins of Superman.
Sure.
He did this one for us, and we call him Eyesore. And he approached us with this idea of this really kind of weird mask with multiple eyes, and we're like, run with it.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty eerie.
Yeah, the great thing is he's all very asymmetrical. So it's when I was shooting him, like trying to take pictures of him for the website, I kept going, wait, is this the front or is it this the front?
Right. Yeah, it does. It kind of droops down, and
right.
You're just not really sure where your eyes are supposed
right.
to look.
What we did is, so we wanted to make sure that the eyes were front forward on this one. So we use power mesh inside of our mask. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's what makes our mask so strong.
Wow.
So all of our masks are completely 100% encapsulated in power mesh. It's not anything really new. It's what we've been doing in the effects industry for film for a long time. You don't want to rip a foam latex cowl when it's going on a creature suit. So when Andrew and I were in this part of the business, one of the things that we thought of as incorporating ideas that we took straight from film effects and putting right into the retail product. So yeah, instead of just reinforcing obvious areas like mouth and eyes, the mask is 100% reinforced to prevent it from tearing. So we expounded on that and went, well, if we're going to do areas where we want to, deep eyes, hidden eyes, what if we use the same power mesh that stretches 4 ways, but in black, cover up the eye holes, and then if light hits it, you'll never see the actor's eyes behind these deep holes. And so there's actually power mesh stretched out here, and vision's perfect. It's awesome.
You really can't tell that unless you point that out. That's really nice.
We noticed when we were shooting it the first time, I was shining a light on the actor's face when he was wearing the mask. I'm like, yeah, but I can see your eyes. I'm like, well, let's try something.
Right.
And then we went back and shot it again. I'm like, perfect, done.
All right. Well, George, thank you very much for,
thanks for stopping by, guys.
the
I really
awesome
appreciate it.
interview and showing us just the girth of products that you have brought to the show this year.
Silicone masks here at the show.
That's amazing. So if we want to know more about you, how can we find out in the socials?
Well, right away at www.immortalmasks.com, and that's where our web store is, so you can order directly off that. Please follow us on Facebook. It's just Immortal Masks on Facebook and on our Instagram page. I will show all our new stuff from sculptural form right away there. So if you want to get like a first look at what's coming up, I always put them on our Facebook page.
Awesome. Well, thanks again.
Great, guys.
This has been Chad with Haunt News Network, bringing you all things haunted. And make sure you keep your eye glued on our social medias as well as we bring you in-depth coverage of Transworld 2018.